Good afternoon and welcome to Central News. This is Matome Molejane, and today we come all the way from Johannesburg, Newtown at the Saibono Discovery Center, where we are launching the L.I.S.T.E.N Science Space. We have with us MEC Matome Chiloane. Thank you, MEC, for taking this time to speak to us. MEC, can you please tell us what is the purpose of today and why was it important to have it during G20 week?
Of course, as you said earlier, we are launching the L.I.S.T.E.N Science Space. L.I.S.T.E.N Science Space. The importance about this is that it's a collaboration, it's an international collaboration between China and South Africa, where China is sharing its knowledge on science, from indigenous sciences of the Chinese people up to modern cutting-edge technology. It's fully sponsored by the Chinese Embassy and the Chinese Museum, equipped with top-of-the-range science equipment, from virtual reality to you name it, to robotics, to robots. And the beauty about this is that it's accessible to all. The purpose of this is to really make science and innovation accessible and technology accessible to to everybody. Literally, it's got no cost to it. Anyone can come. In fact, we're targeting all our learners. All our schools need to come here for excursion for a day to really experience this science center. And noting Saibono is the biggest science center in Africa, on the continent, and it's got variety of activities. And with this collaboration, we are taking it a step further and higher. And now also, it extends even beyond just visiting the center. There's also an aspect where we will be collaborating on teaching our educators how to understand what is in that science lab, and really how to translate it to our children from the creativity aspect, innovation aspect, technical capability aspect, and general development aspect. So it's a lot, but for us today, it's just we're launching it, ensuring that to the public, here it is. We have started this discussion in early this year, and now we're at the tail end, fruition, a couple of months down the line, and we're here.
And some of the viewers may ask or think, why was it important to have it today, as we know that we are during the G20 week in South Africa? What is the significance with that?
No, we couldn't get a better date than today. I mean, really, because in Gauteng, Johannesburg, we're hosting, and it's actually less than 3 kilometers to Nazareth, where all the G20 leaders will be there, and all of them are here. In fact, amongst the attendees who are here today are part of the delegation for China that will be at the G20, participating in G20. So this has been a perfect, literally everything fell into place at the right time. So, and the significance of it, really, it shows the global cooperation, sharing of ideas, addressing humanity's problem, all of us, at the same time noting what are the challenges, dealing with global economic challenges and socio-economic challenges together. And this is part of the progress towards that particular direction. And more importantly, our residents will benefit really from this. Once they come here, they'll embark on new journey, of curiosity, of new possibility. And this is what we've done here. The Chinese people have said, come, let us share with you what we are. And as you know, in the world, they are leading in terms of technology.
So MEC, you mentioned that in your address that spaces such as these are there to spark innovators and future scientists, and you also mentioned the accessibility to learners from all different backgrounds. How will the department ensure that even learners from disadvantaged backgrounds, from rural communities, are able to benefit from this space?
Firstly, our schools, we write them letters every year to tell them that part of the science excursion, they need to come to Saibono. Because if they don't come here, they will never really experience. And honestly, they do. Hundreds of thousands of them annually do come, but more schools can come. So what we're going to do now to ensure that all schools have access is to say to them, within a year for a particular grade, make Saibono part of the areas where you must go and take learners to. That includes also our historical sites, our Apartheid Museum, our Freedom Park, the Villagas, so that our children can experience their own history, heritage, cultural heritage, and also the science and innovation aspect. So this is part of growth, and growth is being able to know who you are, and also know where can you go possibly. And this is what the Science Center does. The Science Space says this is where the world is, and this is where we are going.
And lastly, MEC, as we know that today the country is also taking a stand against gender-based violence, and that the president has said that it is a national crisis. What message do you have, regarding this movement and the stand against gender-based violence?
And coincidentally with today as well, as you know that STEM has got the least number of women participation, and every time when I address, I always encourage that let us do more, let us expose the girl child more to science, and so that we can close the gap between the women and men in terms of participating in STEM. So that is number one. Number two, it's a pandemic, yes. And really it takes a new shift. We need to take a shift to say, let us go to the perpetrator, which mostly is men. Because gender-based violence can be women and men, but largely 80%, 90% of the time it's men who are. And really go deeper, go and deal with it at a young age. Our children also begin to prepare our boy child to really understand this new woman. Because the stereotype of developing boys, they say you are the head of the house. Times have changed, the world has changed, policies have changed, laws have changed. Patriarchy is falling and falling. So therefore that means we need to teach our kids to understand that they are equal, and they need to work with, and they have a responsibility to protect each other and respect each other. Not have an insistence of entitlement that because I'm of this gender, I should be. So with the women taking stand, I think there could not have been a better time, to bring this to an attention. And it's not a South African problem; it's a world problem. And that stance we really support. As government, we are fully support of that.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, MEC.